All right, back. Had a little bit of technical issues there. I'm not exactly sure what went on. I don't know. It's the first time trying to do any sort of video, so I guess a learning curve. But it appears that we are back on here. I'll post a link into the shout box. All right, so back to where we were. Let me make sure. Now I'm gonna have anxiety about my stream stopping, so I have to keep double checking that we're still live, and it looks like we are. All right, so back into what we were talking about. We have the Texas Stars who are done, no longer with us. They were ousted in 4 games by the Barracuda. The Barracuda team, which was down 3-0 in the first round series, came back. They won 4 straight. They reverse swept the Ontario Reign, and now they are advancing to the semifinals. They got rid of Texas in 4 games. As we were saying, a Texas team that I think you would have expected a little bit more from. Being the defensive team that they were, and they had a lot of team structure, but weren't really able to make a dent into the Barracuda when it came down to it, because the Barracuda were just far too strong of a team. Philly, I think that we kind of expected a little bit more from Texas, even though the Barracuda are such a strong, powerful, potent sort of a team with an unmatched offense, really.
Yeah, I mean, the goals and the goals of the matchup really good. There might there's feedback.
Yeah, I can't hear anything. I don't know what's going on. Hello.
That's what I can describe.
Philly.
Yeah, roof. I don't know what happened. Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, we're having a tough time here. Kepler, are you there?
Yeah, man, I'm here.
All right, Kepler's here. So I have signs of life. I'm feeling a little bit better now. Uh, Kepler, I guess we'll just go on to your series, since we can't seem to do anything else. Uh, you guys got rid of the Bears in 5 games. You beat them 4-1 in that series. I don't think anybody on the planet was expecting that. How'd you guys do it?
Just not 100% sure. We played fantastic team defense, and our forwards jumped on the opportunities when they were there. And it all comes back to Bacon as well. I said before this series that I was asked if I would rather have Bacon or Moose, and I said I'd rather have Bacon right now. I said he was hot. A lot of people jumped on my back about it. One in particular was Madden's, saying I was out of my mind for picking Bacon, but I think it paid off, and we saw what Bacon could do, and he kind of carried us a little bit at times.
Yeah. You guys beat the Bears' top line not once but twice.
Yeah.
I mean, when a team can pull that off, you have to say that you might like their chances And not only that, but you have to give them a little bit of respect. How did you guys do that? How did you guys manage to keep their team at bay like that? In fact, you know what? Is Ice Block around? Can we get him on here?
I just talked to him. He said give him about 2 or 3 minutes. He's at work, so he's going to join us on his break. But we, with their top line, I mean, I tune into some streams every once in a while throughout the regular season, and I really enjoyed watching Jack Dupe. Some people call him. I enjoyed watching him play, and I watched him play a little bit, and I picked up on his style. And I had that in the back of my mind going into this series that if I get thrown against him, I know what he does, and I know how to stop it or at least contain it. So that's what we worked towards, and we were able to do it.
So you get rid of them, and that's no light task. No light feat. I don't think that we can understate what that was in terms of. Let's just call it what it is. It was a huge upset. Mm-hmm. Are you paying attention to this other series that wraps up tonight, going to a Game 7?
Yeah, it's hard not to. We would like to know. I mean, we were hoping to be wrapped up before now, so we could know who we play. Kind of prepare for that. Talk about what we want to do against either of those teams. But I'm keeping a little bit of an eye on it.
Looks like joining us now is Ice Block, who is the GM of the Thunderbirds. Ice Block, what's up, man?
Not much. Just kind of catching a break from work here, so appreciate that.
So I was asking Kepler, but I guess the better question would be maybe posed to you, even though I think Kepler is he does have management level on your team. You guys beat what's been looked at as a powerhouse coming out of your division all season long. Myself included. I've all season I said there isn't a team in this division that has a chance against the Bears. And you guys emphatically proved me wrong, and not just me, but a lot of other people. Just straightforward question: how did you do it?
I don't know. I wish I could be or have a better, response for you there, but I think realistically, what it came down to was availability on Hershey, because they did have to do a few last-minute subs. And they did have, Chowski, ECU in Game 1. But it realistically came down to availability on Hershey's side. When we shut them out on Monday, I 2 games, the next night, and I tried my best to do that, and my guys pulled through.
The stars aligned for us.
Yeah. It looks like you guys shut them out in Game 3, which, looking at it now, that was... what line was it in Game 3 that you guys shut out? That was Puck Zone with Maddens. So you shut them out in Game 3. And then in a really, kind of a back-and-forth game last night, from what I understand, is I think that you beat the Dupe line, right? Was that the which game was that? Was that the 6-5 game? Game 5? Yeah. Right.
Yeah, that was game.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you closed them out there. You didn't do anything in particular to try and stop a guy like Dupe. I mean, what was the strategy going into that game?
The man that you have sitting on your radio show was the strategy. Kepler was my knight in shining armor when it came to going up against Dupe. I don't know if you have any of the logs pulled up, but I was scheduled to play Monday night versus Dupe and them, and I actually subbed myself out and put Kepler in there. And he was able to absolutely annihilate them. That was a game that held him to 6 shots. And not just him, the whole team, but, Kep knows Bobby, he knows Dupe, he knows what they're going to do. So, the logical choice was to have Kepler play.
Kepler, what type of looks did Dupe throw at you coming down that right wing side with you on the left side?
Going into the game, I've noticed before that they like to run a play. Bobby will bring it into the zone, and he'll stop right inside the blue line, and Jack will fly by him down those boards, down our left side boards, and he'll try and get it to Jack on those boards, and Jack will fly down to the corner, and Bobby goes to the slot. He'll try and feed Bobby in the slot. And knowing what was going on there, I just kind of rode Jack down the board, stayed with him, tried to cut that pass off. And I talked to my left wingers about it too. And I said, I'm going to need your help over here. I'm going to need you guys to come back hard. I'm going to need you guys to jump on Bobby when he's got that puck. And they did a fantastic job with that. And I knew if that pass wasn't there, Jack was either going to shoot for that short side post, or he was going to try a quick wrap. And that's where the communication with our right defenseman came in as well. That if that short side wrap isn't there for him, he's got to be on that post to take out Jack or take that puck off of him. And they did, and it was fun to play, and it was real fun to watch our team come together defensively.
Talk about your team coming together. What has it been like in the team chats and everything like that? How excited was your team over beating the Bears? I mean, was there a true, genuine belief that you guys could get it done? Obviously you did, but was there real belief there, or did people kind of just say, whatever, we'll give it our best shot, and whatever it is, it is?
Well, Cap, you want to start this one?
Playing a top team like that, you're always going to have the doubt in your mind. And me and Ice Block have talked about it. Bobby's he's a top tier manager, if not the best in the AHL. So we knew that he was going to throw some stuff at us, and we had to counter it. And as a team, I think we had that feeling that we could beat them. We were riding high after that Hartford series. We played terrible game one. That's all there is to it. We came back the next four and we took them out. And after that, we were up. We were as high as we've been all season, and we were ready to keep going.
All right, and then my perspective on that question. Oh, sorry, cut you off. My perspective on that one, honestly, facing Bobby for the last seasons, being management and everything, I have feared the Hershey team, since I took over Springfield last year. So realistically, going into the matchup, I didn't think we were going to walk out of the lot. I told my guys that after they won last night, but to be able to even pull it off in 5 games is, that's a David versus Goliath thing. It's quite unreal.
Oh, it definitely is. I don't think, again, not to just keep restating my thoughts. I don't think anyone saw it coming. Philly,
no.
Philly, Dupe a little bit. You've played with Dupe. I know that he knows Don, and you obviously being on Don's team, I'm sure you've had some interaction with him. Should they have been able to shut him down the way they did? Well, I guess they didn't really shut him down. He did put up some points, but
Dupe's fantastic. He's an absolute stud at his position. The thing is like I played them. They destroyed me. They actually gave me my worst LG loss I had in 3 years. They're phenomenal. They're phenomenal with everything. I know. I'm not surprised that they shut them down. They the MVP of this series. Like, he's done things in this series that I haven't even seen before. Seen from Bacon, I should say. He's been phenomenal. And me and Kepler spent a lot of time together talking to each other. Kepler had a game plan. We talked. I went over my videos. Kepler did his research. Kepler did exactly what you had to do to stop Dupe. And what a lot of people don't realize about Dupe is he's not a goal-scoring type of forward. He's a playmaking type of forward. So what you have to do is you have to keep him outside. You have to press him outside. and you have to make sure that he has nothing. Because if he can score if you give him the opportunity, and they did a phenomenal job of shutting them down. I mean, like Duke would be the first one to tell you their game plan behind it was absolutely phenomenal. So I don't see that. I don't see that Duke could have done anything differently than he did. I think Duke gave him 110%. Just the game plan of the T-Birds just shut that down completely.
Ice Block and Kepler, I kind of started to ask the question before, and then we kind of switched topics real quick once Ice Block came on. But you guys get through the Bears, and now you have two teams. If you don't shut that fucking dog up, I'm going to shoot it. So you have two teams now in this other series. Are you guys paying attention to this at all? Is there anybody that you want to see come out of the other division in your conference?
Personally, I would like to see Toronto make it just because of the amount of people I know on the team. You know, Philly, obviously, is a great guy. Don, Mello, Watermelon. I mean, everybody on the team, you know, they're all a bunch of great guys. Deeds as well. I mean, Deeds has been a good buddy of mine for a couple seasons now. So I would much rather go up against Toronto. I would rather see those guys make it. But realistically, it doesn't matter because we're going to play them the same. You know, we're going to go out there with that hunger and that fire from this past series, and we're going to bring it straight forward in the next week. So, yep.
How about you, Kepler, being a defenseman on a team on the left side? Is there anybody that you'd rather see? Do you feel like you match up better against any team in particular?
Honestly, I'm not sure. Matchup-wise, I'd rather see Syracuse. I know Lobo can be shut down. We've seen it this series. Toronto has tremendous depth, fantastic defense, good goaltending, and a lot of friends on that team. I'd like to see them advance just because they are my friends and everything. But they're a nightmare to match up with. They have three great forward lines. Their defense is very stout, starting with Philly and Berger. Davey is unreal. So matchup wise, I think I'd rather see Syracuse. And I don't see many teams with the goaltending that Toronto has, including Syracuse. So matchup wise, I'd like to see Syracuse. But we'll see tonight.
Let's pivot to that series real quick while we have, the team that will be facing the winner and then someone who wants to be the winner in Philly, even though Philly seems to be having a little bit of connection issues. Hopefully he can get some words in here. Philly, we spoke a little bit before we went live. What are your thoughts heading into this Game 7 versus the Syracuse team?
Say that. I'm all right. I'm just got a connection back, so I missed your question.
I asked you, what are your thoughts heading into this Game 7 versus Syracuse?
I'm feeling good, actually. I really am. I'm feeling really good about the series. I'm feeling good about what we put on the ice. I can't control what Syracuse is going to put on the ice. They still have yet to put a lineup out there. I'm playing with probably the greatest guys that I could possibly be around, and that's not taking anything away from the rest of my team. If they throw the Lobo line out, we've beat them twice in this series, once with the lineup that we have. I'm kind of like nervous because I've never played a Game 7, which is weird. But I'm excited, dude. Like, I'm so excited to play this series and this game. Like, 10:30 can't get here quick enough.
We're having a bit of a party here today.
The greatest guys that I could pop.
We're having a bit of a party here today. We got T-Ball just coming in, joining us now. T-Ball, you there?
Oh yeah, what up, buddy?
What's going on, man?
I'm
See, guys, that's why you got to hang around the YouTube channel, because you hang around the YouTube channel, and next thing you know, you're on the show bullshitting with us anyway.
Heyo.
So you hang out a little bit, T-Ball. We'll get over to you in a minute. Feel free to chime in here when we're talking about these other series, but we'll get to our series that you're gonna lose tonight. But
LOL.
let's finish up with these other guys first. Philly, do you got an advantage heading into a Game 7?
Do we have an advantage? No, I don't think anybody has an advantage going into a Game 7. I'm getting like this crazy static, but what I feel is that we have a solid group of guys who played a lot of games together, and I feel like that might be our only advantage.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see us losing this game, but then again, every game I play, I don't see my losing the game. So, I mean, really, like, I don't want to speak too much. I don't want to put my foot in my mouth, but no, it's definitely, if you got time at 10:30, tune into this game. It's gonna be two giant dogs fighting, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. You know, like, this is a type of series in a Game 7 that would make Mike Vick's dick hard. You know what I mean? Like, it's gonna be fun, man.
So basically, you're trying to give a dogfight an erection, is what you're trying to do tonight.
Yeah, exactly,
Heyo.
man.
Well, I don't know if you mentioned this, but you were telling me before, and I was kind of trying to get T-Ball on here, so I was multitasking, and I'm a really, really terrible multitasker. Did you get into the whole Lobo Dangles thing that you were telling me about before we got on here, or do you want to just not even talk about that, or like?
No. I mean, at the end of the series, I'll let my thoughts and everything else go through. I have something to play for this game. I really do. A lot of people don't know, but Season 3, I got drafted by the Tampa Bay Lightning. Or not drafted by, but bidded on by the Tampa Bay Lightning. They sent me down to the Crunch. In the preseason, I got traded straight up to the Providence Bruins for Mr. Lobo Dangles. So there's a little bit of a, I would love to make Syracuse regret that decision, even though I'd never been happier in Toronto. But I would like them to actually eat their words. And I know a couple guys were like, well, we traded you because Lobo's better. Well, let's see what happens, you know? Like, I kind of like that stuff, so.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a little bit more than I had hoped for. I wasn't even talking about that when I mentioned the whole Lobo Dangles thing, but now we get a little bit of insight into Philly's motivation. Well, I was more talking to the fact of Lobo hasn't really been able to do shit in this series, has he?
So far.
Mm-hmm.
His point here and there, you know. The dude's a great player. He really is. He's a predictable player, but he's a good player. You know. I don't know. With them not putting a lineup in, like, we lost Game 6, and Mista Dunn instantly put the lineup for Game 7 in last night, right after the game.
Yeah,
so our lineup's been there since, like, 9:30 last night, or 11 o'clock last night. So they have yet to put it in. So I don't know if they're having availability issues, if they're trying to match us to what they feel is going to be the best line. I really don't know, and I really don't care who they put in their lineup, to be honest with you. I mean, if they can have Jesus and whoever else they could put into the lineup, put them in. Let's go have fun. It's Game 7. I'm ready to go, you know? So I really don't matter who they put in their lineup. So I can't wait, man. I really can't.
I'll ask the rest of you guys. Feel free to just have a little bit of conversation if you want. In this series, Syracuse and Toronto, is there an advantage? I mean, what do you guys think about the whole Lobo situation. He's 0 for 2 in this series, right? I mean, is that him going against a good team? I mean, how do you guys feel about the whole situation? Or are we making too much of it?
I mean, Lobo's a good player. Billy said that. You can't take that away from him. But the defense that Toronto will throw out at you, you have to be on top of your game. And if you're not at the top of your game, you're going to get shut down. And we've seen that this series twice now with Lobo. And I don't see anything different. I see he may use those 2 losses as motivation, but I don't see him coming out doing enough to knock off Toronto.
That lineup you have in right now, Philly, is that what you guys are staying with? 100%? That's your line? Bring it, is what you're saying?
150% we're staying with this line. We had nothing to hide.
How come the switch Berger for Davey? Is it just an availability thing or what?
I mean, like, Davey plays with this line that I'm playing with. This isn't my line. This isn't my offensive line. It's not my defensive partner. They told me that I'm the best lefty option that they want in a Game 7. They also used me in Game 5 with that line. And I've also played with Davey a couple times throughout the year. It's nothing against Berger. It's nothing against the rest of the team. We just feel that this is the 6 biggest dicks that we could throw into a Game 7, and we could just swing that shit around and win this series. You know, we're ready.
I love it.
I mean, that's the only reason that Berger's not in his lineup, and he deserves it. You know what I mean? Like, Berger's had a tremendous season. Berger's been a great defensive partner since season 3 with me. I love Berger, I do. But Davey's better than I am. You know, Davey's great, and he's got a lot of NHL experience that he brings. He coaches on the ice. He teaches me little odds and ends that I didn't even know about that I pick up on. Davey's a great option, and I'm ready for this.
So you say it's the 6 biggest dicks on the team. Do you happen to know the average size penis on the line, or no?
I think we're like swinging like 10.5 to 12s, you know? Like,
You guys should be making videos.
Yeah, send in those videos.
Like, we could. I mean,
Yeah. You got my sketch now.
I'm like going to the porn industry or something. I'm not sure. We'll figure something.
Let me look here real quick at the where are we? Hold on, I'm trying to bring up the lineup that you guys got going for tonight. I'm sure you could probably rattle them off because I wanted to ask T-Ball as a defender what his opinion on the lineup is. All right, so the lineup that they have going tonight is Meaty Tender Sticks, Paulie Chunks, Mistadon, and then the 2 defensemen, Phillies MVP and Davey Donuts. T-Ball, have you had any experience going against any of these forwards?
I heard some feedback. What was that?
Have you had any experience going against any of these forwards for the Toronto Marlies tonight?
I don't think I have, honestly. I've only played with Phillies MVP, and I don't know. Looking at that lineup, it looks nice. Yeah, I don't know really much to say. That lineup looks pretty dirty. And I know with
I'm getting feedback from somebody. I don't know who it is. Somebody's got really bad feedback. It's got to go. It's really bad. So I lost my train of thought now. This has been quite the show to try and navigate today, honestly. So, like, Syracuse's biggest counter, I guess, is the Lobo line. If Toronto takes that away, and this is to anybody who wants to talk about it, if Toronto takes that away from them in the sense that Lobo is lost to this lineup twice, but yet that's Syracuse's big punch, are they at a really big disadvantage? I mean, are their backs against the wall to where they have nowhere to go? I mean, you look at Deeds, and Deeds in the YouTube chat is saying that he feels like Toronto has the obvious advantage. I mean, do you guys agree with that?
Yeah.
Anyone else?
I think so. I do. I think if a team comes in and shuts down a scorer in a line like Lobo's line, it's going to be in your head a little bit. So I think that I don't know. I mean, you gotta think about that. You gotta maybe think about throwing another line if they're shutting down Lobo's line that bad. I think there's going to be a lot of thought going into it for the GM, unless he's really willing to ride or die with Lobo.
All right, we'll leave that series. We'll move on to the West and just get the hell out of here because this has been a nightmare, honestly, for me. Cleveland and the Moose and the Monsters. T-Ball, you guys lose tonight. I mean, how does it happen? You guys lose by a blowout, or is it a close game? What happens here?
Oh, I don't know. They would both hurt my heart. No, I'm looking forward to tonight. Yesterday's games just made it even much more. It's just a back and forth, honestly. We both have our chances, and it's just who's going to capitalize on their chances they get, you know?
I feel like this series could be it could be a 4-0 sweep for us. It could be a 4-0 sweep for you, really. I feel like this series could have been either way right now. I mean, these are two. I feel I don't want anyone to think that I'm biased because one of the teams are my teams, but the fact of the fact of the matter is that these are two pretty good teams going head to head, and they're pretty evenly matched.
Yeah. Playing those games, it's definitely challenging. Each player's adapting as the game's going on, and you have to try stuff new each time, you know, or else they're going to catch on to it pretty quick.
Yeah. If you were looking at points in this series where people could be responsible for where the series is now, I think one of those points you'd have to think back to would be your Game 2 OT game winner. What was that feeling when you scored that goal? I mean, what was it like in the party?
We all flipped shit. We were all just like, oh, hell yeah. And then it kind of calmed down, and then I was like, gang, gang. And then, yeah, it's pretty much like that.
That's how it went, huh? Just gang, gang.
Yeah, well, I wanted to be subtle about it. You know, I didn't want to be like fanboy freaking out on the stream, but it was, you know, pretty exciting. It was OT stuff. We weren't really getting much going on, so I was just kind of happy to kind of switch it up. Usually I like to go that right bar, so I thought I would switch it up, and it worked.
So you guys did plan that out, right? I mean, I'm sure that he probably called out the face-off, and you put it where you wanted it.
No, honestly, I was surprised. I think Philly's Great was playing that game. He wasn't really winning too many faceoffs. You guys kind of had the advantage in that game. So when it came to me, I was like, oh, crap, I might just manual 1-tee it and see if it goes in, and it squeaked on by. Domi was a beast that game.
How nervous are you for this game? Do you guys know your lineup yet? I mean, let's just be honest. Do you guys know what your lineup is yet? Or are you still going to play the whole checker chess game?
We're debating on like one or two people. Just kind of, we're just going our options and just kind of see if this is what we should do. But yeah. I can say I at least took the day off of work. So,
if you are in tonight, which I'm assuming you will be, are you going to be nervous at all?
I think you got to be a little nervous. I mean, you're going to be confident. I mean, you want to have your mindset that you've had all season, but there's going to be that little nerves that, you know, this is it. You keep continuing to play after today, or you go home and just cry in your bed.
All right, guys. You know what? I'm gonna cut off the stream here. Just a lot of technical difficulties, and it's been kind of hard to catch up with it. So I'm gonna actually cut the stream off here a little bit early. We're not even going to talk about the Texas Barracuda series because that's over and done with, and the Barracuda swept them out real quick. The one thing I will touch on before we do get out of here is a question that was posed last night. We know the Barracuda are advancing. Who do you guys think the Barracuda would match up better against in round? The conference finals. Do you think they'd match up better against the Moose or the Monsters? I'll ask that to everyone, and we'll start with Philly, I guess.
I don't know. That's like I guess if they were going to match up their three lines versus another three lines, I would go with they match up better against the Monsters. As in a series going 7, as a series that can be quickly ended. I don't know. Like the Moose remind me a lot of the Reign. Like these guys have really good players a lot of people don't know of or never even heard of. Like I don't even know where you found half of these guys. But I would have to go if you're going to go 3 lines for 3 lines. I guess you go with the Monsters.
How about the rest of you, Kepler? Who do you think they match up better against?
I mean, matching up better. I think they match up better against the Moose, but it seems like they can go against anybody and put up points and make every game a good game. So it's hard to say.
How about you, T-Ball? What we got you? Who do you think the Barracuda match up best against?
Oof. Well, I would have to say that they would have a better chance against you guys just because, I don't know, our defense is going well. Austin had a great series. Siege is playing again, which is nice. I mean, I feel like if we have all our defense clicking, our offense hopefully can start getting it up. But I just want to see what happens after tonight. It's going to be a good game.
You guys, I will say this, you guys have a better defense than I gave you credit for early on in the season. Especially with the what is his name? HAR 84 something or other.
Dude, you're asking me. You're asking the wrong person.
He's really good, man. I don't know where the hell he came from.
Yeah, he was on our TC, and then we just what happened with Turk and everything. We needed a guy, and he honestly has stepped it up a lot, and Austin too. And he doesn't really get talked about much, but Austin. He's a really good D-man when he's on his game.
All right, well, I'll cut the stream off there, guys. Everyone, thanks for listening. Sorry the show was such a clusterfuck today, but we had a little bit of technical issues, and I tried to keep it on track, but it didn't turn out so well. Anyway, thanks for listening.